to Intermountain Healthcare's TOSH Pilates program, where we are committed to helping you live the healthiest lives possible. And since you can't come to us, we are coming to you. We recommend a warm-up before the workout. We're going to be doing a full body workout though today, about 30 minutes. So we're going to just jump right into it and get to the point. Get those muscles moving and working. And then if you have any questions at all, or any about what we're doing, about the basic principles of Pilates, we encourage you to visit our website, which is toshutah.org/Pilates. And that's where you can learn the basic principles of Pilates and what it really does and how it helps the body. Also, if you have any questions or comments, please email us at toshpilates@imail.org. So let's go ahead and get started. You will need a towel to start with, you have the option of using weights or cans to kind of increase the intensity if you would like to do that. We're going to put those to the side though for right now, as well as the towel, unless you'd like to put it underneath your head. If you feel any strain in your neck or ribs popping, for sure grab a pillow as well to place under your head. But we're going to start on our backs, feet flat on the ground. And let's just go ahead and begin with some breath work and connect with that pelvic floor and transverse. So let's take a deep inhale. You're going to inhale in through the nose. As you do so, expanding in those ribs. And then as you exhale, you gently press out through that opened, pursed lips. And begin thinking of contracting, connecting with that pelvic floor. Think of it kind of lifting or stopping the flow of your pee. And then as you do that, you're feeling a gentle tightening in your transverse, or that muscle between your two hip bones, your belly button and pubic bone. So inhale, exhale. Inhale. Good. Now, as you continue with that breath, I want you to recognize your pelvis and neutral. So, if I was to create this little triangle of my two hip bones, my pubic bone, so it makes a triangle with my fingers, my pointer fingers would be pointing straight. So my pubic bone is gently kind of pressing down, my tailbone is pressing into the ground a little bit, and I'm feeling a slight lift in my lumbar spine. That natural curvature is happening. So now as we exhale, let's begin moving into imprint. So we are going to, in addition to our transverse and pelvic floor, we're going to start activating our obliques. So each side of our torso, those muscles called our obliques, you have them on both sides, gently contract and pull the pelvis gently towards your ribs. And then inhale, we press that tailbone back down, get that little baby arch in your lower back. Exhale, inhale. Now remember, again, with all of these exercises that we're going to be doing, anything feels uncomfortable, please don't do it. We want to always move tension-free. I will try and make some modifications, but again, if it doesn't feel comfortable, please don't push yourself through it. Okay, so now we're going to hold that imprint today, and we're going to begin with some knee drops, some hip openers. So without moving your pelvis, I like to place my hands on both sides of my hips. I'm going to take an inhale. Exhale, I'm going to let this left knee fall out to the side. And why my hands are here is to make sure that I'm not lifting my right hip and letting that weight of my left leg rotate my torso. I'm going to keep everything stacked. So let that left knee drop only to where I can maintain stability by using my core. I'm still in imprint, and then I bring that leg back up. We're going to alternate. Exhale, let the right leg come out. You'll notice that as that right leg drops, your body's going to want to fall to the right, but use your core, pelvic floor, obliques, and transverse to keep your body from rotating. Good. Inhale on the way up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last set on both sides. Exhale. Inhale. Good. Now, let yourself come back into that neutral. Releasing those obliques. Great. Okay, now you're going to take that towel. We're going to just do a little bit of movement in our shoulders, finding neutral. So bring those arms up towards the ceiling. And we're going to elevate the shoulders up towards the ears. Depress the shoulders away from the ears. Let them glide down. Again, let them reach up gently and glide down. Find the center. Good. Now from here, finding that center point, we're going to protract, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Shoulder blades retract, kind of hug the spine. Nothing squeezing, just gentle. Again, reaching up towards the ceiling. Retract, find the center. Good. Now from here, we're going to hold those shoulder blades still and just do a little bit of rotation in the arms in that socket. Keeping the chest open, just small movement. Imagine that you're pulling that towel apart, trying to rip it apart. Good, and then back to center. Beautiful. Now with that towel, you're going to place it under your hips. Good. And we're going to just engage that core just a little bit. Come back into that imprint. Lift the legs up into that tabletop. And now we're going to extend those legs up towards the ceiling. We're going to exhale, let the legs come out to the sides. Inhale, back up. Exhale. Inhale, back up. Exhale. And one more. Let it come out. Oh, sounds like Alexa thought I was talking to her. I don't know if you can hear her. But here we go. Reaching those legs up towards the ceiling. We're now going to exhale, drop the right leg away, and let the left leg come towards us. Again, holding imprint. Inhale. Exhale, alternate. A little bit of scissors. Pulse, pulse. Exhale. Let the legs just kind of open up, holding imprint. Good, one more. We're going to hold it here. We're going to circle out like a windmill. And then bring the legs back together. Good. Extend the legs out. Bring them away from each other, circling them around. And then back to that scissor. Let's go ahead and switch directions. Circle the legs out. Good. One more. Exhale. Ooh, should just feel nice in those hips. Back together. Good. Bring those knees in, give them a little hug, side to side. All right, we're going to now do a little bit of glute hip work. You're going to take that towel and place it underneath your head. We're going to start with knees stacked and hips stacked. Again, watch that bottom rib, keeping it lifted. Ribs are drawn in. We're going to just begin with a little clamshell. So remember, as you bring that leg up, we're not letting the hips open up and roll back. You're keeping the hips stacked the whole time. And that leg is just rotating right in the socket. Good. So we're going to be working right into those rotators. You should be feeling it right by your sits bones and in those glutes. Good. We're going to lift it up for two more. And last one. Good. Now we draw the knees together and we're going to try and internally rotate so the heels are going to come apart. From here, we're going to gently press the knees apart. Imagine you're almost like trying to push the ceiling up with your foot. Good. And 8, 7, 6, keeping that bottom rib lifted, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold this one up. You're going to do little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep that internal rotation going. Good. Last one. Rotate so that the legs are parallel. We're going to extend that leg out nice and long. And from here, we're going to lower towards the ground and then lift up. Again, as we lift it up, we're not letting the hips rock. We're keeping those hips square and stable. So this line should not point any direction but up towards the ceiling. Good. Give me 4 more. And 3 more. And 2 more. Last one. You're going to hold it up. We're going to bring it forward just a couple of inches and then pull it back. Bring it forward just a few inches and then pull it back. So now as you're bringing that leg forward, we're keeping the tailbone pointing down. I'm not rolling in my spine at all and then popping it forward. I'm keeping everything still. You almost want to imagine you're like a Barbie doll. Remember how Barbie dolls, they can only move in those hips joint. They have no other movement in their torso. So you're just keeping everything still. They can't move in their spine. Very small. Give me 3 more. 2 more. And last one. Good. Hold it here. We're going to do baby circles. Good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Go ahead and bring that knee in. So your right knee is bending. Your left hand is going to come underneath your knee. Right hand is going to open up. You're going to give a little spine twist. Kind of just stretch out that booty. Opening in the chest. So good. All right. We are going to do that on the other side. But before we do, we're going to just do a little bit of shoulder bridge. So you'll want to get rid of your towel for this part. Put it to this side. Come onto your back. Feet are flat on the ground. We are going to stay in neutral today. So we're not going to be rolling through Imprint and peeling the spine up off. We're simply going to hold neutral. I want those heels to be, unless you have a knee replacement, you don't want to bend your knee this much, but you want to bring your heels pretty close to your glutes. Now from here, you're going to take a nice inhale. Exhale, we're going to press the heels into the ground, engage and wrap the muscles around the core, and then simply just hover the hips up towards the ceiling. Now from here, I want you to place your hands on your quads and feel your hips pushing into your forearms. With that being said, we're not extending in the ribs. I want you to think of really using your belly and your glutes to hold one piece from your knees down to your head. So it's just one long line. Now from here, with those hands on the quads, we're going to drop the hips just an inch, and then you exhale, push the heels down, feel the glutes engage, belly, and lower, exhale, lift, and 5, and 4. Again, you shouldn't be pulling in your lower back. You should be in your booty and your core. Good. And 2, and 1. Good. Holding it here. We're going to place all the weight onto that left foot. And I want you to just peel your right heel off. Come onto the right toe. And then we lower the hips. Press into those forearms. Good. And 7, 6. So I'm pushing from my left side, but my hips are still square. My right heel is off, so my left side is getting a lot more of the work. Good. 2 more. And on this last one, we bring that right heel down, peel the left heel up, and still engaging, keeping those hips lifted, pushing into your forearms. We drop the hips down and up. Good. Feel that booty right in that whitey-tighty line, right where if you're wearing those whitey-tighties, where that line is. or you can think of your booty and hamstrings where they meet. Give me 2 more. And last one. Go ahead, lower that heel and drop the hips back down. Good. We're going to flip to the other side for those clamshells. So, bring that towel underneath, stack the hips, stack the knees. Make sure that the bottom rib is not slouching into the ground. Chest is forward. You're kind of pushing away from that shoulder. Eye gaze is forward, not down. Again, heels together. We lower and lift the knee. Good. Feeling it right in that booty. Watch those ribs. Ooh, boy. Good. Lower and lift that top knee. Good. You're going to give me about 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Good. Now we rotate, internally rotate. So think of it coming from your hip, not your knee. Knees come together and then we press them apart. Good. Small move. Again, you should not feel any of this in the knee. The knee isn't doing the rotation. The hip is. Good. And then we lower and lift. Good. Give me 4 more. Beautiful. And this last one, bring the leg parallel and extend that leg nice and long. We lower and lift from here. So as we lift that leg up, the ribs should not be falling down. We should be keeping this pelvis totally still, which means that we might not be able to lift so high. If we're lifting too high, we're likely pulling the pelvis back and pulling in the front of our hip, rolling it. So again, range is only what we can do while we're doing it correctly. Good. 2. And last one. Now we're going to kick the foot forward. Let's point that toe, get some movement in our ankle. As we kick forward, let's point the toe, and then as we pull back, let's point in the heel. Good. And 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Bring it right underneath the hip. Make sure you're still engaged. Rib, small circles. Good. So you shouldn't feel any torquing or pain in the shoulder either, because you're working in those obliques and those hips to keep yourself lifted and not slouching in that shoulder. Good. Right in that hip socket. Finish up those circles for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring that knee in. Left knee comes forward. Right hand comes under the knee. We're going to take that left arm, open it out to the side. Give me a good stretch right in that glute. Ooh-wee. That sure felt good. All right. One more breath. Man, this feels so good. All right. Let's go ahead, come on to our back. Bring our hands behind the knees. We're going to roll ourselves up. Okay, so on this next part, if you don't feel comfortable, we're going to be on all 4s. So if this is too much on your wrists, you can come to your couch and place your forearms. If this doesn't feel comfortable for your knees, you can come to a table, place your hands on the table and do the same work on your feet, standing. And myself, I'm going to come onto all 4s. So this is where, if you would like, you can grab your can weight. You can place it behind your knee if you want to add a little bit more resistance. We're going to come onto all 4s, finding your neutral to start. We're going to, before we begin, I want you to just think of, we're going to do a little bit of imprint and neutral hip release in this position. So remember, that neutral, we engage our transverse and our pelvic floor. In Imprint, we're gently just adding the obliques into that move. So, however, on all fours, our shoulders are engaged. Again, you're in your neutral, so protract, retract, find the center, elevate, depress, find the center. So now we're just stacked. We look great, right? Finding neutral in our pelvis, neutral in our shoulders. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, you're going to put all the weight on your left knee without shifting your body over, but start engaging that core. We're just going to, with the weight behind the knee, we're going to lift the knee up towards the ceiling and then lower it back down. Exhale as you lift it up and lower it back down. Exhale, 3. Exhale for 4. So as we lift that leg up, we're not bending at all in our back. We're just moving from our hip joint. 2 and 1. Good. Now from here, if you have the weight, you'll want to place the weight to the side. Otherwise, everyone else, you're going to lift that leg, extending it out so it's nice and long. So at this point, I want you to really think of length from the top of your head, reaching out, and energy and length coming from the toes, your right toes. So it's just a straight line in both directions. Okay, now from here, you're going to engage those obliques. We're going to exhale, try and extend the left arm out and away. So now the length is really coming out of our fingertips and toes. We inhale, we're going to bring both the knee and the arm in, and we exhale to reach it out. Good. Again, we don't want to move in our back or spine. Use your core to keep all of this from moving. Good. Exhale, reach it out. We have 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good. Come all the way down. Nice. Bring those hips back. Do a nice little wrist release. Also, something to think about if this is bothering your wrist, to come to a harder surface will help release any tension you're feeling in those wrists. I hate to put my own wrists on like a pad, even like this. It's easy to hyperextend them. So you'll want to find a position, or even if this is the only place you can place them, and really think of pressing and gripping through the balls of your hands and the fingertips. All right, so if you want, you can place that weight behind the knee for this first portion. Find your neutral in your shoulders, making sure hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Okay, now from here, take a nice inhale. Exhale, without leaning to the right, you're just going to lift that left leg up and lower it back down. Think of almost pushing that foot up into the ceiling and lower it back down. So as we're lowering and lifting, we're not arching in our back, letting it move as well. We're holding it still. We're not leaning to the right. We're just feeling that glute working between our hamstring and our booty as you lower and lift. Give me 5 more. Good. 4 more. And 3 more. 2 more. Good. Last one. Now go ahead and get rid of that weight. We're going to extend that left leg nice and long and take a nice inhale. Exhale, try and extend the left leg from right arm. Good. Now as you're reaching from toe to fingertip, we then bend, knee and elbow. Exhale, reach it out. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Give me 6 more. Keeping that core engaged so that you're not pulling in the back. Good. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Good, and last one. Woo, good job. Come all the way in. Again, nice little shell stretch right here. Go ahead and roll out those wrists. Great job. Okay, so now we're going to move right into a little bit of side plank work. So with that being said, you can do this up against the wall, you can do it on the ground, on your forearm, on your hand. You can also do it on your knees or on your toes. Again, if you're doing it on your toes on the floor, that is the most difficult. So take it at the level that you feel most comfortable doing. Today, we're going to just be doing a set of 10 reps, but we're going to hold. Let's go ahead actually get into that position. I just wanted to give you a heads up so you didn't, so you knew how to prepare for this. Go ahead and either wall, knees or toes, lifting those hips off the ground. I'm going to come onto toes today. And today we're just going to reach this arm up towards the ceiling. Take a nice inhale. We're going to reach it towards the door. Exhale, back up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. So again, if this doesn't feel good in your shoulder, if as you're reaching for it, if you're feeling tightness here, come against the wall, bring your knees in. What I want you to just feel engaging is that bottom oblique. I'm just going to have you do, again, a total of 10. So wherever you are, go ahead and finish up. Last one, most likely around here. Good, back up towards the ceiling and lower, back down. Good, we're going to come to the other side. So again, wall, knees or toes, coming all the way up, pressing that shoulder away from the ear. We're just going to reach forward for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, come all the way down. All right, go ahead and grab both your weights. We're going to come to standing, doing a little bit more oblique work. So as you stand, I want you to think of standing with your feet together. We are going to just do a little bit of engagement still in those obliques. So I'm going to have you place your hands right above your shoulders, kind of in the nook of your neck. Take a nice inhale. We're going to lower our left elbow down. Inhale, back up. Exhale, alternate to the other side. So as your right elbow drops, think of your left elbow as lifting up. And let it come from the sides of your body into those obliques, keeping those ribs engaged. Make sure you're standing on the center of your feet. You're not leaning forward or back. Good. We're going to hold this side. Last on this side, we're going to come to the other side and hold it there. Exhale. I'm going to do little pulses. Little pulse, reach up. Exhale. Equal weight on both feet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And other side. Good. Little baby moves. You should be feeling that engagement right on your side. 3, 2, and 1. Stack up nice and tall. Good. All we're going to do is extend those arms out to the side and bend them in. A little bit of bicep curl. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now keep the arms bent. Now we're going to move from the shoulders, so drop the elbows and lift up. Good. So it's almost like you're tracing a circle, or like the sun in the sky. Getting a little bit more shoulder work here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to hold it here, bring the elbows together and back out.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, keep the arms together, extend the arms out, 10, 9, 8, 7, we have 2 more moves after this, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, keep the arms bent, down to your side and pulse up, keep the elbows bent though, it's like you're punching the ceiling, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, extend the arms down all the way, thumbs up, last move, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job, everybody. Let's go ahead, set those weights down. We're just going to end with a quick little stretch, circling the shoulders up and back, and then reverse. Good. Take the left arm, reach it up towards the ceiling and behind the back. Using your other arm, let it slide down your back. So again, if you have any questions or comments, please email toshpilates@imail.org. And then if you had any questions about anything I did today, you'll want to visit our website at toshutah.org/Pilates. So thank you so much for joining me for this workout today. Have a wonderful and blessed day.